What's going on, YouTube family? It's your man Pristine, back with another video. Okay, look, let's switch gears here for a little bit. Let me take off, my tech reviewer hat, and let me put on my gaming hat. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that don't know, I have literally been gaming ever since I was about 4 years old. My first gaming console was a console called the Vectrex, where it was like a little box. It was like a little TV and the games were embedded within it. This was before Atari, or before the Atari 2600, that is. I'm 47 years old right now, so needless to say, I've had every single gaming console with the exception of the Nintendo Wii, and I've had every single gaming handheld. It's a wonder that I don't have a gaming channel, because gaming has been a major hobby of mine just all throughout my life. And it's still a major part of my life. It's still my favorite pastime. I will be 90 something years old, and whatever the latest gaming console is, as long as I still got my faculties and can still talk-ish, I'm gonna be on the sticks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on the sticks. So I just want to briefly talk to you guys really quickly about a very important topic. Xbox. Yeah. The question is it dead? Things that make me go, So, my brother Dre Asim and I, over the years, we've had countless debates about which console is better. Is it Sony? Is it Microsoft? Is it Nintendo? Nintendo wasn't ever really a part of those conversations, just because it's, Nintendo's its own thing, right? And they cater to a certain audience. And I think we all know who those audiences are that they're catering to, kids, families, all that type of stuff. Not to say that PlayStation and Microsoft doesn't, but I mean, a lot of the content that come out on the PlayStation and the Xbox, a lot of times don't make it to Nintendo. And for understandable reasons, especially a lot of the mature rated content, which is more so the games that I like to play. And so countless debates, about what console is better. And my boy would always tell me, bro, you got to look at the fact that Microsoft's business model is not the same as Sony. He said something to me yesterday. We were just having this debate yesterday. And he was like, it seems to me like that Sony, rather, has been at a console war with themselves for years. And I paused on that. And I thought about it. And I look at the gaming landscape as it is right now in 2025. And it hit me. Like, man, I mean, the gaming landscape as it is right here on November 5th, 2025, 6:31 Pacific time, because I'm in Seattle. Years ago, when Microsoft unveiled the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, and then toward the end of its life, the X, when Phil Spencer was like, oh, this is the most powerful console, pretty much after they had just got dog walked, in that generation, with the Xbox One and the PS4 and the PS4 Pro, when that console was unveiled, Microsoft was just like, yo, this is gonna be your one-stop shop. This is gonna be your ultimate gaming hub. This is gonna be your ultimate machine for gaming, for media consumption, movies, music, cable. You had the cable, inserts in the back of the machine, to run your cable box through. And it was like, you have to be connected online all the time in order to be able to game. And that was met with so much resistance. I mean, it was met with so much resistance. So much to where shortly after that, they retraced their steps, and then they were just like, okay, no, you no longer need to be connected online, because Sony, when they did their press event unveiling the PlayStation 4, which was a little bit after Microsoft had did their press event, Sony made sure to capitalize on the fumble, right? Because Microsoft had fumbled the bag. They had so we thought at the time, it appeared as though at the time Microsoft had fumbled the bag, but did they? Did they fumble the bag, ladies and gentlemen, or did they just have a vision that none of us was ready for? So, Sony, they had their presser for the unveiling of the PlayStation 4, and they made it a point to let it be known, hey, our console doesn't need to be connected online. You just pop your disc in and press play. Hit the start button, change your difficulty settings or whatever you want to do, and boom, off to the races with whatever game that you're playing. And, at that point in time, a lot of people were in love with that idea because that was more so, what the console experience was. And, as a result, there was a lot of people that jumped ship from Microsoft. I mean, yeah, you had your Xbox loyalists, and it's like me, I don't really have a love affair with either system. I'm a gamer to the heart, and I want to play whatever the best games is, no matter what console it's on. That's why I always had an Xbox and a PlayStation. I got my Xbox Series X right here. I got my PS5 Pro right here. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been more of a console gamer. I want to say within these last few years, I've been diving into, PC gaming, hence the reason why I've got a Steam Deck right here and a plethora of other handhelds right over here. My Lenovo Legion Go 2 is on order. It's being delivered on Friday, November 7th. I had the Rogue Xbox Ally, and I just returned that a couple of days ago. But I got a different video talking about that where I'll explain why I returned it. So for that particular generation, Microsoft won it hands down. I mean, a lot of the games that came out that were cross-platform, I got them for the PlayStation. Yeah, there were a few exclusive titles that came out on the Xbox that generation that I got that I liked, played, beat, and then I would just put the Xbox controller down and get right back on my PlayStation. And then when the PS4 Pro came out, I traded in my PlayStation 4 for the PS4 Pro, and it was just a wrap after that. Right, it was just a wrap after that. And then, like I said, toward the end of the Xbox One's life, that's when they released the Xbox One X, and they were like, hey, this is the most powerful console, which it may have been, but at that point, it was too late. You know what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of people didn't understand the vision and the direction in which Microsoft was going. You know what I'm saying? You look at the gaming landscape today, everything's digital. When was the last time you walked into a GameStop? Realistically, when was the last time you went to GameStop? Why do you need to go to GameStop unless you're going to get something pre-owned? Or some other, whatever, I don't know, a controller or, something. Everything is digital. Game Pass has completely taken over. So those of you that are sitting there talking about Microsoft is dead, look, no, they're not dead. They are very much so alive. The business model is different. They don't care how many more consoles Sony sells. So if you're looking at console sales, yeah, Sony has Microsoft beat. But do you think for 1 second that that's harming Microsoft? Absolutely not. Because they're not caught up on console sales. They're raking in the cash by Game Pass subscriptions. I mean, raking in the cash. Big time. Microsoft is not hurting. So let's look at it for a second. You got Game Pass. You got day one releases coming to Game Pass. We don't even need to pre-order games anymore. You have a Game Pass subscription, day one, it's on Game Pass. A lot of times if you have a Game Pass subscription, depending on which tier of subscription you have, you get early access to the game, depending on what said game may be. on Game Pass. Game Pass changed the game so cold to where Sony themselves had to bolster their subscription services because they were getting killed. They were literally getting killed because of Game Pass. And so that's why the subscription service that Sony has for the PlayStation right now, the reason why it is what it is because of Game Pass. And it's still not as good as Game Pass. Because I don't believe with any of the PlayStation subscription services that you get day one releases. Yeah, there's a few different tiers, and there's one tier where you get, some old school games, and then there's another tier, I think the ultimate tier, whatever, you get like tryouts or some game trials, like new games that are gonna come out. You get to, play, like the beginning of the game or something a certain amount of time before the game comes out, which that's pretty nice. But come on, man. Game Pass has just completely changed the landscape. And now it's to a point, ladies and gentlemen, to where whatever you can pair this up to, Bluetooth wise, this is my Xbox controller. Whatever you can pair this up to Bluetooth, that's your Xbox. Game Pass is an app, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I know as far as my YouTube prowess, I mostly do cell phone reviews. I got a drawer right here full of phones. Close to 20 phones. Every single one of them phones I can download Game Pass on, open up the app, pair this via Bluetooth to my phone, and that's my Xbox. You don't even need an Xbox to play Xbox. All you need is a subscription and a controller. If you got a smart TV that you can download Game Pass on, but no Xbox, you can play Xbox if the TV can handle it. You got cloud gaming, so it shouldn't be a problem. If you got a desktop computer that's not a gaming PC, you can download Xbox Game Pass to it. Boom, you can play Game Pass. Your phone, your tablet, whatever you can download the Game Pass app and sync a controller to, that's your Xbox. You don't even need an Xbox. You don't need a physical Xbox console. You don't need a Series S, X. You don't need the Rogue Xbox Ally. You don't need the Rogue Xbox Ally X. You don't need none of that to play Xbox. I've been hearing a lot of uproar lately about, the uptick in the price. A lot of people are just so up in arms. Oh, Game Pass went from $20 to $30. Oh man, I'm canceling my subscription, man. Is Microsoft kidding, man? That's price gouging, man. What are they doing, man? Really? You want to know why they upped the price $10? Is because you had two different subscriptions. You had Game Pass for consoles and you had Game Pass for PC. Certain game titles that are on Game Pass PC aren't on Game Pass console and vice versa. So what Microsoft did, they were just like, we're gonna merge, we're gonna consolidate Game Pass console and Game Pass PC, and we're just gonna charge an additional $10. $30 for Game Pass for both? Are you serious? I think that Microsoft could very easily charge $50 or $60 for that service and get it easy. Because to me, it's worth it. And for somebody like me that's a console gamer and I'm really starting to make a splash in the PC world, yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it. So when you look at the reason as to why they upped the price $10, it's because they consolidated Game Pass console and Game Pass PC. You don't think that that's worth an extra $10? Are you kidding me? What are they supposed to do? Just give it to us for free? Are you serious? Like, what are people complaining about, man? It's beyond me. Like, people find the dumbest things to complain about. This is a premium service that we're being given for pennies in my mind. $30 for both Game Pass console and Game Pass PC, and you're complaining over a $10 uptick in price? Like, what are you people on? And I'm not saying that to be insulting to anybody, but I'm just saying, man, I mean, it seems well worth it to me, because it seems like Microsoft could very easily charge more than what they're charging, but you're complaining over a $10 increase? And the thing about it is, a lot of y'all got it. A lot of y'all can easily spare $10, even in this economy. Even in this government shutdown, you can spare an extra $10. So it's like, what are you complaining about? And if you got a console, but you don't have PC and you don't need Ultimate, then downgrade your tier. It's that simple. If you got a PC, but you don't have a console, download your tier. Or downgrade your tier. It's that simple, right? If you have both like me, then man, Ultimate may be for you. Plain and simple. So when you ask the question, is Xbox dead? Man, absolutely not. Xbox is changing the game with what they're doing. And this is the vision that they had back when they unveiled the Xbox One. But a lot of us weren't ready for it. Fast forward to today, okay, everybody's going crazy about these handhelds. You know, you got the Rogue Xbox Ally and the Rogue Xbox Ally X. Now, you know, a lot of people have been returning them, you know what I'm saying, because they're swapping them for this Lenovo Legion Go 2, which, like I said, I got mine on pre-order. It's being delivered on Friday. You know, because that big 8.8-inch OLED display, man, that's serious business. That's serious business. But you look at the fact that you got the Rogue Xbox Ally and the Ally X. Okay, you got the full screen Xbox experience. You know, yeah, it's a Windows PC primarily, you know what I'm saying? But you know, the full Xbox experience helps kind of get by a lot of the Windows fluff. You can set it up to where when you turn that console on, boom, it just goes straight into the full Xbox experience. Or you can set it up to go straight to Steam. That's another thing. Microsoft Steam integration. Being able to play Steam on these Microsoft handheld products. A lot of people may beg the question, okay, well, man, why would Microsoft be okay with people buying their products only to turn around and play Steam? Look, at the end of the day, do you think, maybe to some degree, Microsoft thinks about that? But I mean, if you're playing Steam on a Microsoft product, Microsoft already got your money. So do you think that they care what you're doing with it? And obviously, they see the value in giving their players the ability to play Steam on their machines. There's so many people, man, that are PC gamers on Steam, man. And Steam is so massive. There are so many titles that are on Steam that have never come to console. So it's like me getting hip to Steam just opened up a whole new world for me gaming wise. So to me, the integration to me is a match made in heaven. How could you sit there and say that you want a PC game, but not be hip to Steam? Steam? Are you serious? It seems like Microsoft in 2025 knows exactly what's happening. And they're pulling big plays out the playbook. So in my mind, I don't care how many more consoles the PlayStation is selling. Microsoft is crushing the PlayStation. I mean, most of my gaming experiences this year in 2025 alone has been on my Series X and my Series S before that because of Game Pass. New games coming to date. Man, these games are $69.99. So in Seattle, Washington, which is where I live, with taxes, if I want to go buy a new game, that's $77.05 with tax. And, you know, including the taxes and everything all together. I play a lot of games. That's a lot of money to be spending on games. When I could just pay for a monthly subscription and I've got all access. A lot of people are also in an uproar, oh man, we've seen PS5 exclusive titles come to Microsoft. We're also seeing Microsoft exclusive titles going to PlayStation. Some people are making having a fit over the fact that Halo is now going to be in the PlayStation. But Phil Spencer has come out years ago and told you that, look, we're not really buying into this whole console war. We're just trying to figure out ways for gamers to be able to play the best games. Remember when cross-platform started to become a thing? Microsoft was all in. It was Sony that was hesitant and reluctant to do cross-platform play. So it's like, man, if I got Madden and you got Madden, but I got Madden for the Xbox and you got Madden for the PlayStation, who cares what system we got Madden on? Should we just be able to get together and play if that's what we want to do? There once was a time where if I wanted to play you in Madden, but you had it on PlayStation and I had it on Xbox, if I didn't have a PlayStation, I had to go buy a PlayStation and go buy Madden just so I can play you. But if I already have Madden on my Xbox and you got it on your PlayStation 5 and you got cross-platform play, you don't think that that's the way it should be done? To give the gamer, the ability to game no matter what machine it's on? Well, that seems to be the mindset of Microsoft. So it's like, no more of this business of, okay, I gotta have two systems because I know that there's gonna be games that are gonna come out on one that aren't gonna come out on the other, and I'm gonna miss out on this or I'm gonna miss out on that. If I got a PlayStation, but that exclusive title that I really want to play comes out on Xbox, that ain't coming to PlayStation, now I gotta go spend $500-$600 on an Xbox just to play that one game. It seems like, ladies and gentlemen, the days of that is going by the wayside. And I'm all for it. So I'm pretty sure, there's some of you guys out there that just want to, keep the division. I'm a Sony loyalist. I'll never cross over. All right. Well, if you don't have a PlayStation console, can you play PlayStation? Nope. You have any PlayStation products that you can play Steam on? Nope. It's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen, before we're going to have Steam integration on our home consoles. Think about it for a second. The Rogue, Xbox Ally, Ally X, you got Steam on that. You think that Microsoft is just going to be solid with just having Steam on their their shiny new handhelds and not on the consoles? Sony at some point is going to have to bend in order to stay in contention, man. They really are. At some point, I do believe that we're going to see Steam integration on a PlayStation. Matter of fact, PlayStation is already pushing updates for their games that make it to Steam to play better. Because they know that people want to play games on other platforms besides PlayStations. It's already starting to happen. But Microsoft is the catalyst. They're pushing the envelope hardcore. And I'm all for it. So, is Xbox dead? Please, man, come on. Come on, man. Those of you that thinks Microsoft is dead, you're lost. You're lost. Big time. And I'm not saying it to be insulting or disrespectful. That's just what it is. You're lost if you think that Xbox is dead or dying. You're out of here. You're out of space somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because their business model was something that we just weren't prepared for when they initially launched it. But now, in this digital age in which we live in, man, come on. The way gaming is now, I can't go back. I don't want to go back. So, yeah. Just wanted to drop a little insight. Those are just my thoughts. What are your thoughts? What side are you on? You team Xbox, team Sony? What do you think about all this integration that's happening? What do you think about what Microsoft is doing? What do you think about their overall business model? Are you a fan of it? Not so much. You know, let's talk about it. You already know, man. Comment section is where I'm chilling at all day, every day. Questions, comments, feedback of any kind, let me know. I don't deal with no disrespect. I don't even dignify disrespect or responses. So all I ask is that we converse, politic about whatever. This topic, phones, whatever other devices that I review, respectfully. That's it. You know, let's talk tech respectfully. You already know I'm your man Pristine, bringing you the content. Please stay safe, get spiritually fit if you haven't already, because we're definitely living in the last days. And you already know, keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.